Pittsburgh Steelers defense coordinator Terrell Austin just gave a horrible update on inside linebacker Mark Robinson's position for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, with Robinson, many of us fans were hoping that he would take a major leap in year 2 with the Steelers and maybe even earn a starting position on the team. But Terrell Austin, in an interview done on Tuesday, when asked about the inside linebacker group, he specifically mentioned Mark Robinson as a person who is still a work in progress and that he hopes by next season he'll be ready to compete for a starting job. So it looks like there's not much hope for Mark Robinson to be a starter this season based off what Terrell Austin said. Here's his full quote though. "We thought that we saw enough from him that we could bring him along. Still a work in progress. Still probably not quite ready, but really making good strides. When you watch him, as I watch him, he's better in communication, he's better in pass coverage, he's better in some of the things where he was hurting on last year. But he's still got a way to go. He still has ways to go, but he's really working on it, and you see the improvement. So what you're hoping is as he continues to improve, that maybe next year he's ready to really compete for the starting job." So, listening to that full quote about Mark Robinson of what Terrell Austin had to say, obviously you could tell by his comments that Mark Robinson got better in basically all aspects of his game that he was struggling at last season. And if you think about it, what doesn't make sense based off his comments, Mark Robinson was drafted in the 7th round last year. He was a guy who might not have even made the team, but he was brought in to bring physicality, be a thumper at the inside linebacker position. And whenever he was given the opportunity, whether that was in the regular season or even the preseason before the regular season, he earned a spot on the team. He was a guy who would hit stick you and lay the boom and bring the physicality that the Steelers have been lacking at the inside linebacker position, especially stopping the run. Whenever he was given the opportunity in preseason and regular season, he really took advantage of that and made the team and was proven. And that's why many of us fans believed that this season he could have even earned a starting spot. But ruling him out already from the starting position and saying basically that next season will be his year and kind of ruling him out from that starting job, the Steelers only have Holcomb and Elandon Roberts at the inside linebacker position, and both those guys are new guys. Mark Robinson's the only guy returning from last season who was at that position, so he knows the defense, he knows what to do, and whenever he was given the opportunity, he succeeded. And he, like I said, he was drafted in the 7th round. You weren't expecting much from him, but he showed out whenever given the opportunity. So kind of ruling him out already from making the starting job and earning that spot doesn't make sense because we're only in mandatory minicamp. OTAs just ended, so now it's mandatory minicamp. You still have training camp and you still have preseason. Who could say that Mark Robinson won't show out in both those aspects, in training camp, minicamp, and even the preseason? You're not even giving him the opportunity. I'm sure based off his comments, yes, he will be given the opportunity from Mike Tomlin and those guys. But just based off his comments, because that's all we're going based off of, because we have nothing else to prove about what Mark Robinson could bring. But just going based off his comments, being ruled out already, not given a chance to show what you have in the preseason, he could be so much better than we all know because you haven't seen him since last season. And even last season, he only played for a couple games and he showed out. So let's see what he has in preseason and let's see if he could earn that starting job. Because watching film on Elandon Roberts, having him as a starting guy next to Cole Holcomb brings physicality as well, and he was a really good run stopper, and he could be the guy. But watching Elandon Roberts' tape, he wasn't a guy who really succeeded that much last year. He was obviously an upgrade over Devin Bush, who the Steelers had for many years, and ever since his injury wasn't the same. But Elandon Roberts wasn't a guy who was just dominant. He's a guy who kind of struggled at sometimes. So him and Mark Robinson should be competing, I believe, for the starting job. But obviously, Terrell Austin sees that differently, and he sees the starting job as Cole Holcomb's and Elandon Roberts. And Mark Robinson will be the third guy, and maybe next year he could earn that spot and kind of overtake one of those guys. But for right now, it looks like Mark Robinson won't even be given the chance to be the starter. But also, the thing I don't get with Terrell Austin's comments about the inside linebacker position and not really giving Mark Robinson a chance, if he was so hard set on Cole Holcomb and Elandon Roberts being the starter, the Steelers wouldn't be bringing in these guys like Quan Alexander, because Quan Alexander, if he would have been signed, he more than likely would have been the starter at that position. And even just yesterday, the Steelers were hosting 2 more inside linebackers for tryouts. Former Bears inside linebacker Nick Kowalski and even former Panthers inside linebacker Jermaine Carter. So they're hosting more guys to try out at the position, so it doesn't really look like they're just hard set on those 2 starters at inside linebacker. It looks like they're still searching for a guy to come in and be a kind of a playmaker and a coverage guy, because everyone the Steelers have right now are more of a run defense type of linebacker and not really a zone coverage or man coverage type of guy. So, based off Terrell Austin's comments, he's basically saying 2024 will be the year for Mark Robinson to be in competition, to be a starter, and he's kind of pouring cold water on the idea that Robinson will take a field and play more snaps this season. He obviously still will get snaps because he's the third linebacker on the team, and the Steelers kind of rotate those guys when needed. And even last season, like I said, towards the end of the year, Terrell Austin, Mike Tomlin, they liked what they saw from Robinson, and towards the end of the year, he was getting more snaps than Myles Jack. He was getting more snaps than Devin Bush, especially when in run situations. So obviously, he'll get some snaps, but he won't get as much as we might have expected coming into year 2 with the Steelers. Last season, Robinson only logged 44 defensive snaps in total, and more of them were just special teams. So he ended the season with 9 total tackles, but you could see the difference from the Steelers' run defense whenever he was in the game compared to Devin Bush, compared to Myles Jack. He just brought more physicality than those 2. So things could always change though, because Cole Holcomb was coming off an injury and has been limited so far in OTAs and now mandatory minicamp. He has been kind of limited, and kind of the Steelers easing him back. So things could change if he re-aggravates something, or even if an injury happens during the year. I'm not saying this is stone set, because obviously things could change. If he absolutely shows out in preseason and he shows he could be a really capable guy for the Steelers, I see no reason why the Steelers wouldn't give him the opportunity. That's why I don't think this is stone set, even though Terrell Austin did say basically next year could be the year for him and not this season. But I really think that Mike Tomlin could see some physicality and like what he brings to the table, and things could change if they see that those 2 other guys just aren't getting the job done. But with that being said, let me know down in the comments below. How do you feel about Terrell Austin's comments on Mark Robinson, saying that he's still a work in progress, and this season you really don't expect him to be the starter, and next season will be the year where he could compete for that starting job, but not this season? How do you feel about those comments? Were you expecting Mark Robinson to be in competition for the starting job with Elandon Roberts, or did you just believe that he was going to be a third inside linebacker straight from the get-go? Let me know your thoughts on his comments down in the comments below. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below as well if you like Steelers content, analysis, and reports. Like the video, turn on post notifications down below for this channel as well, so you get notified whenever I post the next Steelers video. Click the bell down below. I covered everything Steelers this offseason. I covered free agency, the draft, trades that happened like Allen Robinson, all the new guys we brought in. I made some introductions to them, so if you want to see what they're all about and see all the new guys we signed, they're on the channel, so go ahead and watch it. And just know everything moving forward to mandatory minicamp. OTAs just ended, so I'm covering it all into the preseason, regular season, and repeating the whole cycle back to the draft. I'm covering everything news for the Steelers and rumors, so if you want to stay up to date with everything Pittsburgh Steelers football, this is the channel for it. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all later. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.